Ready?
Sure.
You can go live now.
Sure, okay.
And we're live, everybody. How's it going?
Are
Yay!
you cold in the heatless space of space?
Oh, it's actually pretty goddamn hot here today.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Odd,
How about you? How you doing, Sam?
tired, man. See, that's the problem. If I do days in the UK, like UK people actually do, then doing anything at 9 p.m. is dumb because the English people are going to bed now.
Yeah.
So I have to wake up late, which becomes your normality. But then if you then don't do that for a day, it's like, but I've already been up, 13 hours. Ha! You know.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
So
I got a super chat from Mark Lawrence, though.
Oh.
Rainer. Let's do this in my brain. Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Do you remember the Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah. When would that have applied?
At the end, it's like, oh yeah, let's go into the ship. Let's bring it on.
I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose. Now, I'm pretty interested to know what you'll think about this episode. I would like to know an instant Bosch reaction. Let us know what you think.
Good, bad, or meh. Just put that in there.
Yeah, I'll put a poll as well. How many times have you watched this now? Because obviously you...
3.
3. And we'll get into how that is or is not good in a minute. In fact, let me start that poll to get as many people, because I'm interested to see what people say. But Stuart, are things happening this weekend? If they are, talk about them.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh, did I ruin the surprise? Oh, no!
Tomorrow is my 50th birthday party at Tilt Arcade in London, Ontario. So if you can make it between 12 and 2, feel free. That's all I have to say. It's a big birthday bash, so join us. It'll be fun. Yeah. And then afterwards, a few people, friends of mine, are coming over to my place, and they're going to hang out in the afternoon and have a barbecue, and it'll be fun. It's not my birthday until Tuesday, but this is the day of the party. So, yeah. If you're able to come in the London, Ontario area, Tilt Arcade, London, Ontario.
I don't know if it's occurred to you. You can always put like a phone on a tripod for like half an hour and do a live. No, I don't mean you. Just mean I'd be there looking at the party and people could say something, keep as a record. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it occurred to me like it was essential.
Good idea.
Yeah, because then people could super chat you for drinks while you're there. Ironically, but like I'd be quite. I'd certainly watch that after the fact.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. And they've changed polls, Stuart. They've changed all of the look and the loadout.
They have, and I hate it, but that's okay. What do you think of this episode? Liked it, loved it, is okay, or nope, didn't love it?
These are the important questions. I'll get sharing then. So I'll see you in one momento.
And I'll tell you guys, 22 of you, to hit that like button. We have 10 likes already, which is awesome, but I'd like to get to 20. We can do that super easy with you guys here, so hit the like button. And make sure that you let us know your thoughts on this episode. Super chat in. We want to get your super chat scores at the end of the review, and we also want to hear your thoughts during the course of it. So please super chat in, because it does support the channel as well, and we do read them all. So if you can do that, we'd really appreciate it. Or just have a conversation in the regular chat as well. We follow that too. So all the ways. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss any lives that we do or edited content. We do a lot of it all the time. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, you can join the channel. There's a join button down there. Check that out and look at your options to join the channel, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. It's another way to join and become part of the Discord server and all the other cool stuff that applies with joining the channel. Check that out as well. And there are also links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store, which helps us out as well. You can build Trekyards merch. So if you want to do that, we would appreciate it for sure. So anything you can do to help, please do. The birthday doesn't arrive until Tuesday. Yes, that's very true. But yeah, so Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out to all you guys that are regulars, there will not be a live review next Friday at this time. I will be in WonderFest. I will be in Louisville, Kentucky. Sorry, be at WonderFest in Louisville, Kentucky. And as a result, we won't do the review of the finale until early the week after that. I'm not quite sure which day it'll be, but keep your eye on your notifications. So make sure you hit that bell, notify to all, so you don't miss it. But yeah, I will be gone from Thursday till Monday, and as a result, I won't be able to do much of anything in this regard. So definitely remember that for the future going forward. I just reminded them all that the finale will be pushed back to the following week because I'm away that weekend. So
Yes.
just in case you were wondering.
Stuart has a fancy trip. But it could have been predicted if Discovery had only remembered last year when you weren't here. They could have saved all their embarrassment for having to play around the time you're leaving. But we tried to get them to swap it, and they wouldn't swap it.
Well, I mean, if they hadn't released the first 2 episodes, next week we'd be reviewing this episode, and then the finale would be the week I'm back, which would have worked out nicely. But no, they had to ruin it by putting the finale the same week as WonderFest.
Sometimes they can't be reasoned with, canon and messing up the date of the final. 2 things they just have problems with.
Yeah. The nerve.
The nerve. And yeah, Super Chat. Oh god, the poll's now white. Oh god.
Yeah.
It was black a minute. What the hell? That's weird.
Blue, or like forever, and now it's just white. It's just ugh. Stop. Engineers, they love to change things. We learned that from Star Trek.
The sad thing is, it was fine. I just wanted more than 4 placements.
Yes.
This is worse, and I still only have 4.
Yep. YouTube, what are you doing?
So I'm pretty sure white text on a black background stands out more than black on a white. Because I thought all those lines, especially the amount of grey to white, gets lost compared to it was last week or this week. The hell.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll reset because they realised their mistake. Anyway, Stuart, speaking of mistakes, so season 5, episode 9. What do you think of Discovery season 5, episode 9? And how does it feel being the penultimate of all of Discovery? Dum dum dum.
LaGrange Point. Yeah. I enjoyed it the first time. I really did.
That was the other question. And on rewatch retrospect. That's the question.
On the rewatches, some of the Breen stuff dragged out a little bit longer. There was really annoying stuff. There was a lot of lines that felt very ADR because it was somebody talking with not like you could hear the voiceover but not on their face, and it felt kind of phoned in, some of the lines. So I don't know if those were ADR'd in. It's really noticeable to me, but I don't know how many other people
noticed it. ADR episode, of course, because they were in helmets, so they're already doing a substantial amount in suits. So
yeah.
I guess they're more free to just sort of change things.
But it was even lines from Tilly and stuff that weren't, so it was odd. And then, my biggest thing, the last bit of it, the last like 10 minutes or so is really good. It's really kind of a good pacing moving along. I wish it was a longer episode. It was only 46 minutes. Last week was 57. This one could have stood to have a little bit more time. You got some payoffs in those last 10 minutes. You got like a cool phaser battle. You got Rainier sitting in the chair. You got a whole bunch of really cool stuff and good moments. The Breen stuff felt a little bit stretched out and thin. And as you pointed out, and I didn't really consider it till you had mentioned it, and then when I rewatched it with Sylvia, I was paying attention. The bridge of the Breen ship in a huge cargo bay. Why? This is a huge dreadnought. You should have a dedicated command center that's not going to be evacuated of air if some damage gets caused. It was kind of stupid in that regard.
And visually identical to the shuttle bay. The point that you could not tell which was which, except the green thing in the middle. Now, yes, that's quite an obvious thing, but everything else about it was identical to the layman. Yep. Which made scenes like I was always surprised when it cut to Reese and like, it's a different set. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. The other thing that annoys me is let's take 5 minutes out of our undercover covert mission on an enemy ship to talk about our feelings when you just had 5 hours of repairing the Discovery to do the very same thing, which is what they should have done. You shouldn't do that at that. And I know they put in a line. This isn't the most appropriate time for this, but that kind of just irked me to no end, and it gets worse every time I see it. That being said, the acting overall from everybody was good. I think there was no letdowns. I like the Rainier and Tilly interactions. And you've seen Discovery. It's got a new feature. It puts the cells up to minimize damage. I think that's cool. Tuck them closer into the ship. Nice little feature. It felt more of a chore to watch it each time I watched it. The first time I kind of was like, ooh, what's going to happen? This is like almost the end of this.
We were on different pages the first time.
Yeah, this is almost the end of the season. This is almost the end of Discovery. Ooh, I'm excited to see. Now that I know, it's like, okay, we can skip this. Okay, that's cool. That's all right, I guess. It's just one of those, right? So, yeah, it did feel worse on other. So if you go back and watch our edited review, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yes, your heart sunk as I gave my opinions, and now I think you see what I was getting at.
Yeah. So
I have reasons for things I say, guys.
So anyway, yeah, I'm excited for next week. Obviously, it was a good place to cut it off. I hope next week's is over an hour long. It'd be nice if it's an hour and 20.
Well,
it's
we
not
know
going
it's
to be.
Well, we know it's at least 15 minutes longer, so I'm assuming it was going to be 59 and then plus.
You say that. But they filmed extra scenes, they said, and I feel like some of those have been interspersed throughout the season.
No.
I think the whole ISS going to ISS Enterprise going to
Well, the new
Starfleet
stuff would be
storage.
Saru's stuff then, because it's super redundant. Like, to give him stuff.
Maybe.
I'll be back next season. There's the only thing I could see as being extra.
Well, I just felt like the whole Detmer and Washcom, they really earned that, didn't they? They sure did.
Yeah, but that's a 3-second line. It doesn't take...
I know, but it's still a scene. It's still like...
Well, no, it's a line.
You know,
I mean, it was leaving,
it's
right?
a couple of lines. It's an exchange between Rainier and her. Like, there's a little conversation there. I'm just saying, that scene could have been filmed afterwards to give them their... Yay, they got their moment. That's what it feels like to me. And we'll find out what happens next week. Well, you'll find out a little bit later from us because we're not going to do it on Friday. But anyway, how that plays out. And it would be nice if it's an hour and 20 or so. Just over an hour would be good.
I think it'll be like an hour and 9.
And I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
As well.
It was about 52, and then they added an extra 15.
The sad thing is, no matter what they do, and I've been saying this all season, I can't see this progenitor thing. I don't know how it's going to pay off. It's probably just going to be super disappointing. Everybody's got their hopes built up, and I don't think they're going to be able to deliver. It's going to feel rushed. And then to tack on, oh, by the way, this is the end of our series as well. It's going to feel very rushed.
It also occurred to me that the thing that's going to make it, that I think they missed the beat on, that feels very, very obvious second time watching this episode. I'm skipping slightly, but they obviously planned to end the season with Saru's wedding as a nice ending note.
Yeah.
So with that still being in there, they were going to cut it out. So if that's going to be 10 minutes of the final episode, after the resolution of the story, which means the final resolution of the story is only going to be 35 minutes, you have 5 minutes of buffer, 10 minutes of Saru, now they've added an extra 10. So they're going to be really quick wrap-up.
Well,
I'm like, they can't ignore his wedding. They can't not show it. They've been set up for it for, like, that's a big vibe. So, and that's not going to be the reshoot edition because it's super small. So that was obviously the ending. So it's a nice ending, good for season 5, but that's going to take so many minutes of this. They've messed themselves up. I think I can feel it.
I think it's going to kind of feel like the ending of season 3 of Orville with Isaac's wedding, Isaac and Claire, where it's a nice send off.
The irony.
Like the show could just end there. Like they could do no more seasons of the Orville and it'd be fine. It was a good send off, and it's a good thing to end a series on, honestly, because it's an upbeat note and everybody's there to celebrate. So you get to give your goodbyes to everybody. So I don't know. I never really considered that about his wedding, honestly.
So it doesn't matter, but it will absolutely be there and absolutely take up a good chunk of the screen time as a nice way to end, and that's a problem in this context.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts. How about you? How did it feel on a second viewing, and what are your thoughts on this one?
So, what do you think I'm going to say?
I have no idea.
I could go all different ways, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I liked it better second time. So we reversed a little bit. Because my expectations were lower the second time, because I knew it was going to happen. So, overall, it's an okay episode. It is overly long for the subject matter. It really ruins last week's finale of the ship's damaged. We've got a cool scenario. It ruins that entire setup in the first couple of minutes by just resetting back to normality. It gives them spore drive back again. It gives all this stuff, basically. And then in second watch, whereas all that pre-stuff about them fixing is also wasted screen time. Because nothing there means anything. It gets them to the bit where they attack the ship, but that it didn't need any of that. It was padding. It was entirely padding to add some vague tension, but you don't do that in the penultimate. That's episode 8 into 9. That's what 8 was done. I thought 8 had done the setup. Discovery's damaged. We've got a few hours. All these fun setups. They ruined the setup, replaced the setup with a new setup, had the presidents talk about the setup to waste even more screen time, and we finally get to the heist, which is a terrible heist in terms of like complexity and cleverness, like relative to other heists, for only about 20 minutes. And then the ending 5 is amazing. So why was the first 15-20 minutes there if they were going to entirely ignore the concept? I don't understand it. And nor second time. It's like all this first third, you can cut it and it would be like, just start with the Breen coming in. Okay, they've caught us. Boom. Start from there. You don't need anything else, really. It's very strange.
Or have the Booker and Michael Burnham's scene talking about their feelings on the ship before the Breen arrived.
Yeah, start there. That'd be fine.
The other thing, and people have been mentioning this in the chat, Colbert was supposed to be important with his spirituality thing going on. Stamets is, I don't feel like, just a scientific luminary. Those are fizzling out quickly.
You were so excited about mycelial-based Stuart. That's not even going to be mentioned next week.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Because Stamets has been an entirely wet squib. Colbert had his bits and then gone.
Well, all the comments on that video were like, the Discovery writers aren't clever enough to do that. It's a great idea, but I should have known better.
I think I did tell you. You did. The biggest problem with this episode, and second time it's even more apparent, this is not this is not All Good Things Part 1. This is not Endgame Part 1. This is not what's the Enterprise? Well, I'll get no Enterprise. This is not a Star Trek end of season 2-parter leading into half the story to the second half. This is a single-parter leading to another single-parter, because everything here is not going to be in next week. Meaning it's not setting up next week, it's a separate episode, because this starts and ends a piece of arc. You look at Best of Both Worlds, it's a part 1 to a bigger story. This is a one of one. Next week's also a one of one. And that's a huge structural problem, because they have to do everything next week. And they can't remotely achieve that. That's what this week was for. To see the progenitor tech by the end. To meet a progenitor. To meet the scientists in DS9 costume or whatever. To set up a big cliffhanger. The cliffhanger here is next week they'll solve the problem. What's the problem? We don't know. What's there? We don't know. Is it exciting? We don't know. Are there villains? We don't know. We know nothing. So all we have is everything next week. So they radically ruined their part 1, part 2 to make it a one part and one part. And that's weird. And I once again showed they should have compressed the season down just by one episode, as I assumed, giving it a 2-part special final. Which I thought was happening the first time, right? I was expecting this epic pace, this no wasted minute. I mean, if you watch Endgame, right? Voyager Endgame, everything is connected. Everything has a payoff. Everything means something. And that's a franchise ending, right? How many scenes here don't mean anything, really? Really? A third? All the stuff with Sarah and the President, you could cut. You could. It'd be great in the first 6 episodes, and it was. Not here. Should not be in this episode. Yeah, it's very, very strange structurally. I mean, they didn't know it was the franchise ending, of course. But, boy, I would have absolutely moved from next week into this week and, like, restructured next week. Because they really have done themselves a real F-up here. And, like I said, because they have not got enough time to set something big up, they can't pay it off well. Even if scene 1, we're in the progenitor homeworld and we get 20 minutes of setup, you're only going to get 15 minutes of close down, max, before then the epilogue stuff. Max. This week is a setup, and it wasn't. So it's very confusing in that regard. What do you guys think? I'm being too harsh? Like, I liked it better second time, knowing it's part 1 of 1. But pacing-wise, it's horrendous as part 1, part 2.
Yeah, well, let us know, guys. I gotta get my chair back up.
Just like it's a decent episode, it's one of the better ones, but not for half the scenes.
Yes. Yeah. Again, it was good. It was a good enough episode for Discovery, but it's just to the build up from this entire season, the progenitor tech. And I've been worried about this since this started, about how this is going to end. We need at least 2 episodes kind of talking to the progenitors and having this big thing, right? We're not getting it. It's going to be super rushed.
Now, I'm fine, absolutely fine with there being we don't find it, they've locked it, it's destroyed, anticlimax. That's actually fine with me, because this is Power of the Gods, but this has been a tiny scale Power of the Gods season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't even see the progenitor face again after episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Any ties to TNG are long since gone. It's shocking. I mean, their scope and scale is so small for a concept this big. It is kind of radical. But anyway, we start with literally I watched this. I watched the last time on just because I missed a thing. We had an official last time on, and then we had another last time on. It was called her Exposition. We don't need a catch up in our penultimate episode. My God, we don't need this scene. It's like 2 seconds of it. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need her telling Saru the situation. You're wasting minutes. You only have so many. My God.
Tell us how you really feel, Sam.
I write better scripts than this in one day, need to film the next day. And I've done that many times. And it's just structurally, they don't. Oh, it's weird. These are simple problems they're doing to themselves.
Yeah, you're right. This is another next time on. It really is, with her just summation of what's been happening. Just to catch Saru up. Wow.
This is the penultimate and a short one. We probably only get 22 minutes of story in this episode. And 5 it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I do like their costumes. Very Vulcan shoulder pads. Absolutely fine with that. And in fact, it's funny. Saru has no shoulders. And both the Blade Presidents have giant, big shoulders. Obviously to give them power. But it's just funny that the difference in costume choice.
Yeah. That being said, the good thing here, too, is that the President is back, and so is Saru, which is nice to see. But, yeah.
What I said to you yesterday was this would have been an excellent episode 8.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Recap.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Set the stage. Boom. Really solid episode 8. Probably one of the better ones they've done.
Yep.
Wasn't though. Because it's like this scene is dedicated to Rune. What a Primarch Rune is coming. Or Tal. Yeah, whatever. Which is fine, but she's not been shown or set up in any meaningful way that this doesn't mean anything. This new villain's coming. You're not going to introduce that in the last episode and have a big part. They might get 2 or 3 minutes of screen time. And also, one Dreadnought's too powerful, so having a fleet is irrelevant. It doesn't make any difference, right? Again, wasted scene of nonsense. Of non, right? Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because they established here that the other Primarch is coming to basically take his crew and his fleets for her own. So she's going to be arriving there as well. So it's coming to a head at this one point. So
but we've got 1 episode left, so it can't achieve it.
Yeah.
And now your favourite shot, Stuart. The 32nd century gas canister.
Yeah.
Please tell. Oh, there's even writing on the plastic tube.
Yes, it's medical grade tubing. That's wonderful.
You made a whole deal out of this in our review, Stuart. Please, rant.
I hate that they did this. You see this shit everywhere. And this is fine for pre-TOS tech. Fine.
I mean,
They've been refitted. And they still got this shit all over the place. I just hate that. You can visually update those to still be canisters, but look futuristic, maybe? I don't know. I could actually go down to the hospital right now and probably steal some of that that tubing and canister like that.
Some 32nd century tubing.
And not only that set dressing. That's one thing, but to focus on it and have it be like, look, ooh, really? What century are you in? I've forgotten now. It's just dumb. Sorry.
I mean, there is zero chance this has stayed after a replicatable matter refit.
Right?
0%.
Yeah.
There's no way you can argue this is still going to be in operation. Because, I mean, every time a current day officer walks into the ship, they're like, is that, why is there museum tech here?
museum ship.
Well, yeah, but it's like saying, gosh, a Wright Brothers propeller is still next to a jet engine. It's like, it wouldn't be, though. It just wouldn't. Do better. Oh, wait, you finished. Well, okay.
Yeah.
This is very odd.
Well, then we get the scene between Michael and Saru where they're like, hey, how's it going? Be careful, blah, blah, blah. I got a wedding to go to. Of course I'll be careful. And
then she walks up to Raina, and everybody is fixing that corridor. It's really noticeable the second time. It's like 6 people all just buzzing, with sparks, little things, as if every system's in this one random corridor.
Yeah.
No.
I always hated these little nooks too in the corridors with like the display screens.
Which also looks, what the hell's all this tech? You don't. None of this is here.
It looks like a laboratory. It looks like
It looks like an NX era laboratory.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense. And again, it's wasted scene. And it shocked me. The ship's fine. Like
everything's fixed except the one that sells a little bit. It still needs a little bit of work. But yeah.
And the spore the
spore drive's still off.
And the way he even says it, first time whatever, the second time it's like, oh, the spore drive's got some problems. Next scene, well, we can't get a precise lock. Third scene, well, we got there. And it goes 2 minutes of turbulence. It's like, dude, you fixed it. This is a traversal of universe device. You're 10 meters off. You did good. Like, don't create this paradigm of it's broken if it works almost flawlessly. And again, what does that add to the plot? Absolutely nothing. You're wasting screen time. Now, if this had been the end of last episode, maybe. But it's just absolute waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. Book's helping out in sickbay, I guess. Or not sickbay. Spore room. Because he's supposed to be in sickbay, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, but he's not that injured.
Oh, which means you had 5 hours to go down to sickbay and talk to him while the doctor heals up his flesh wound from a green weapon.
Yeah, maybe it was in
last episode.
Self-inflicted coma for 5 hours. Maybe that's the rationale.
Maybe. There you go.
And we really make a big deal about the spore drive is not precise enough, but it's absolutely fine for the scenario. It's, again, nothing here matters. It's just to give them padding, I guess. And then they know the exact coordinates of this location. They have they had an exact star chart, which Zora has scans of. They have long-range sensors only 30 light years away, but they can't detect 2 black holes. Because they have no idea it's there. They're surprised.
Well, they did say there's gravitational distortions at the location.
Okay, they did say that, but they would know there's 2 black holes there.
I know. Yep.
So again, we don't need this scene. This oh no scene is just absolutely padding for no reason. And like Book running in to fix a thing, and as soon as he does one thing, it cuts away and doesn't even let him fix it. It's very odd structurally.
God, you pointed that out. Yeah, I noticed that too.
And I even noticed it goes red for one frame.
I know.
Cuts away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely. I felt this was a longer episode, and this shit was longer, and they cut it because they thought no need for it, which is true. You don't need any of this stuff, but like, very odd. Why film this, right? Why dedicate days of filming and millions to actors' pay to have them do a non meaningful scene where they successfully managed to get in between and that's it. Like it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like the Badlands were harder than this. Than 2 black holes.
Yep. Significant gravitational shearing, don't you know?
I also don't believe they can have a cloak up with 2 black holes in their way. I don't think a cloak would be able to... Because a cloak is hiding matter, but the 2 gravity wells are pulling matter away in light.
It's ironic. They say, should we turn off the cloak? And it's like, no. Okay, we can't take power from the cloak. Then you see a shot of the ship.
Yeah.
And it's totally visible. And I don't think that's just for the audience.
No, that's...
So, yeah. It's funny you say that. Because they are cloaked.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there is a frame where they're almost entirely visible, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, lovely touch to end the show at a binary star, because that's where they started the show, Battle of the Binary Star. That's actually lovely. That is nice. And at the end, I thought they were going to leave the scene, but obviously then the portal is in the middle. So so they actually are ending and starting. That's lovely. And that could have been a whole episode by itself, like a going back to battle, whatever. But it's fine, doesn't do anything to them. So.
Yep. But they get out of that gravitational shear, and it's drinks on me tonight.
Yep. Where's Detmer? Shut up.
Yeah, so they're approximately 60,000 kilometers away from the actual point they need to be at, which is nothing, honestly.
Nope.
So, yeah. But yeah, the target is in the LaGrange point of 2 black holes.
I love her explanation here. This is actually a nice line. Do you want to read out what she says? Tilly?
Which one exactly? Coordinates are in the LaGrange point of the 2 black holes. Which means the progenitor tech has been in gravitational equilibrium since... I mean, these black holes, they predate everything else in the galaxy, so since they put them there... Can we get it on screen? Yeah.
Great idea. Sort of well executed. I wish this was a concept more shown in the show. The fact that, yes, they made 2 black holes.
Yeah.
That's great. Do something with
it. They didn't put that there. 800 years ago, the scientists put the thing there between the 2 black holes.
Yeah, but we assume this is the coordinates of the technology first. I assume this is where they found the technology.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a really good place to hide it between 2 black holes. Because if they put the black holes there, then it'd be a perfect hiding spot that you have to be mega advanced to get into. That's why I thought it was clever. They built 2 black holes. Because that's the thing. She's saying they exist before time, but they can't because they had to be... Yeah, I thought it was a clever moment. And then we zoom in. Really easy to zoom in, can I just point out, despite 2 black holes. As if it's nothing.
Now they're using their 900-year advanced tech properly, for once.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that, but yeah.
It's just funny how easy this is.
Yeah. To
zoom in, even though light's being pulled and stretched, and no, it's fine. We'll get a beautifully crystal clear 8K image. Now I did kind of laugh because I didn't know what
12,000K in the future.
Sorry. I didn't know what I was expecting here. I really hoped it was going to be a space station, some kind of new set they were going to build, and the fact that it was it's just the key again makes sense visually because we built it, but also it looks nothing like 24th century tech. Again, you could have, if you really had done a proper Picard season 3 and linked to real canon, you could have had the scientists, you could have had pads of old TNG. This could have been a holo ship, right, from Insurrection. Could have been something from our era that looked and felt right. Instead, it's just this would not be built on TNG, right? This is a weird alien thingy.
That looks like a barrel. Yes.
Yeah. And again, built a thing that can't be scanned through. Why aren't more things built of that? I mean, it's impossible. Okay.
It's like their hardest known changes every week. Yeah. Thought it'd be bigger. Haha, funny line. Anyway, the Breen show up.
Yep, this moment is super small and pointless to make it a moment. Because as soon as the Breen warp in, they get it in about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, zero effort.
Can we disable their... Oh, too late. Oh, okay, well then, fine then. We're fine.
And why didn't the Breen just warp away then?
That's what I thought too. I don't know if they're sticking around this area because it might need to be opened around here for some reason. But yes, I thought the first time watching it, they should have just jumped to warp and opened it in warp on their way to another destination. Who wants to hang around a black hole, honestly? Oh, yeah.
I mean, also their ship is so much bigger than Discovery that they might not even fit in the pocket of I'm not going to kill space. It's just so odd, the fact they warp in effortlessly to the perfect place, grab it in 3 seconds, as if they have long-range sensors that can detect things and work it out ahead of time, whereas the Discovery... In the warp signature, how far are they? They're here. What about...
Yeah, they're going to be here soon. Like when? Now.
But you've been detecting
them for doing your job.
For 5 hours. What are you on about? They're only 20 light years away. And why didn't the detector spore jump here? Because they spored here, which means the Breen would know they spored here because there's a spore jump. You're not turning off the spore jump scanner because you think Discovery's dead. You always keep it on just in case. They would know they went here.
Yep.
And this is when I realised, oh no, we're fucked up. Because this pacing, to have the thing be taken instantly by the baddies and now we're doing a heist episode. Oh god, no. Really? Like, a fun mystery, a fun build-up, a fun... No. We entirely shifted. Which made the first 15 minutes pointless because we're now here. This episode. I knew we were in trouble, and we are.
Yes. But it's got a keyhole.
Yeah.
For their puzzle pieces. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. Again, episode 8 would be great.
But there are obstacles inside that I got information on how to beat. So the phrase she was given is, build the shape of the one between the many. And as Tilly says, that's cryptic. So...
Yep.
We'll find out next week, I guess.
Will it be satisfying?
No.
And guys, super chat your thoughts, comments, and questions. As you all know, these are lives. Help us do what we do. And yeah, anything, guys. Because, you know, help us out.
Yeah, Stanley's points out a good point, too. They did mention that the Breen were using transwarp tunnels.
Yep, and then they mentioned they warped in, so that was to get them close.
Yeah.
So they just warp out, easy. But that was nice, but also irrelevant in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Given that you would think that the idea of, wow, they're 5 hours away, but they use a transport tunnel to get there in 4 hours and 42 minutes. Because we also had 5 hours to fix, and we used all 5 hours. It's like, right, okay. That was redundant. But then Adira has an idea, which, again, having seen the episode, it pointless, doesn't mean anything. So it feels, second time, doesn't feel like a good idea because it's undone in the plot.
A transpo lock. I hate that.
You know, transponder? Just a pattern enhancer transponder?
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, attach it and get in there and take their shields down, beam it out. That's the plan. But they use a, like... Yeah.
You know what I would have done? Possibly. Why don't you put it on their warp core and beam the warp core out and reduce their power level to almost 0? Or their shield generator, beam the shield generator out. Yeah.
And also, when she's talking about the plan, you see the shuttle, like... It's like a nice montage of, this is the plan, we should end for dialogue, we're on the ship. You saw it. But no, they end their dialogue and they're still in the briefing room and you still see the shuttle do the thing. Why'd they include that scene? That just felt stupid. Usually when somebody says, here's the plan, and you see like the shuttle going in and they keep talking and cutting back between the briefing room and the Breen ship. And at the end of it, you're on the Breen ship because you just saw the whole thing truncated into a montage. But they did that, and then they didn't do that. It's weird.
It would have been really fun had they done the entire heist in the conventional Ocean's 11 way, as you just expressed.
I thought that too.
And then you finish the entire heist in about 10 minutes, leading to another big twist. You don't take 35 minutes to do the heist.
Yeah.
But the wireframe transition to the Breen ship is great, although the scale feels broken, because the way the shuttle flies in, it feels like a normal ship.
That's what I mean. The Dreadnought's getting smaller each episode.
Yeah, but there's the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we finally see the back.
Yeah. It's a shape with actual fire coming out, which is not a thing. And considering how big that is, those fires are going to be like 15 decks tall. Why?
That's the other thing that bothers me.
Why?
How long can the shuttle last? 60 seconds. Really? A 32nd century advanced shuttle? Shuttles are designed to withstand a lot of things in space. Maybe going near a sun. Maybe not into the corona of a sun, but at least going near a sun. Yet, okay.
Average exhaust.
We forgot we're in the 32nd century again, I guess.
And why couldn't, if heat's the problem, why couldn't you use the TNG heat shields they developed that let you go into a sun?
Those would just be standard operating procedure in the whole of any 32nd century. Oh, we forgot about that.
Because, like I don't think those fire jets are hotter than the chronosphere's sun.
Yeah.
It's such an unnecessary scene. Like, and also it makes it feel super easy. I'll just go in there. There's a shield hole next to the engines. What? Why?
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna get that fixed.
What? Now we get a good scene.
Or we're missing. Sorry. Going back to that whole like weak spot in the shielding.
Yeah.
We're missing Rogue 2, where we find out that the designer of the Breen Dreadnought actually incorporated that for this very specific reason.
I mean, it could be
Primark, he was a progenitor.
A different. Yeah.
Anyway,
or it could be some Primark. You know, they do a different problem each ship. But all the stuff with the device is good. And every time it goes back to this stuff, it's good. But everything we just watched could be condensed down to 5 minutes maximum.
Yes.
Absolutely fine. Because imagine, Stuart, if last week we ended a heist, cliffhanger, and start with a heist table, and within 6 minutes we're in this bit. Cool.
Yes.
Amazing pacing.
Yes, 100%. Anyway, Adira volunteers, I guess, to go because she's already hacked through the Breen shield tunneling system, so she can
in about
do it.
10 minutes. It's that easy.
Stamets is kind of concerned. She's going, yay.
Yep.
Anyway, there you go. 2 teams though. We're going to take 2 teams. At least she's not going with just Book this time. And Reese, we get some more Reese moments. So Reese is more of an established Discovery character now, thank God.
Yeah,
Finally.
he got more than 3 lines.
Yeah.
A testament to his long-standing work that after 7 years of working on a TV show, you're allowed to have maybe 10 lines of dialogue near the end.
Yeah.
Good job. It would honestly be something worth doing to cut all 5 seasons of Discovery and only do his shots. I mean, you'd be looking at sub 10 minutes. A short trip. You'd be looking at sub 10 minutes for his entire 7-year run of on-screen time.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think when they're all lined up in the Breen suits, though, I laughed at what you said, and I mentioned it again last night in my first reaction. It's like the Breen are a pretty uniform height, more or less. Adira is quite short. So is Burnham compared to Book and stuff. It would have been hilarious if one of the Breen came up and said, in Breen, aren't you a little short for a Breen? That would have been funny. I loved when you said that. It made me laugh.
Because, like, you can give people giant shoes. Klingons often wear giant shoes. Yeah. But you can tell all the Breen officers, except maybe that scientist person, are stunt men who are like 6 foot. And so you suddenly throw in 2 very small people, like notably a foot shorter than the male counterparts. And they also walk very differently. And Burnham has a much thinner suit, which is actually noticeable in the wide. And the way she moves is more feminine. It's hip movement. Not even trying to replicate being a Breen. Like, not even 1 iota. And Book's all like...
Yeah.
Like, they should clock them straight away, because you look at the Breen in the background, everyone's being very uniform, very man, very military, and they're not. There's no Breen that small. They don't blend in well, and there's not really... It feels a little bit silly, you know. And also, if there aren't Breen not men, then Adira's costume being so truncated, people think, who built this suit for you? Why is everything misproportioned? Who is this? You know what I mean? Like, you notice the disnormality if you're a trained officer.
Yeah.
But hey-ho. Anyway, we get to the shuttle bay, and we have generic plating the circle, or the thing. But I do like the scenes, and I like the very, very small lines we get of the traitor, Breen friend person. They have good banter for all the few seconds they have. It's interesting.
Yeah, I love how it's like, we can't scan inside. So she hands him the key. You do it. And he's like, no. You do it.
Yes. Yep. This is all reasonably good stuff.
Yeah.
It's intriguing. The thing opens up, and it's a portal. It's a light. Sure.
It's where Cisco is. It's the Celestial Temple.
Yeah. Not bad.
Anyway, guy gets sucked in.
The cool effect.
Probably not a good representation for the progenitors on the other side. So you found us. How'd you do it?
Well, I think you're meant to walk in confidently, right?
Yeah.
Because if you know it's a portal, you wouldn't be hesitating. And also, it's meant to obviously be the outside being blah, 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 blah. So it's not meant to be a little tube thing, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, it's an extra dimensional portal, so there you go. Anyway, she puts Locke in a pattern buffer because, and that's a good idea to carry him like on her sleeve, but we'll see where that goes.
Well, it makes me laugh a little bit that he's like, yeah, mobile pattern buffer. Well, like they all have, because that's where their guns come from.
Yeah.
Like I know it's for the audience, but it's like they all clearly have that. I mean, that's what Rune did. That's a pattern buffer.
Yes, it is.
Standard. Anyway. But I like her commitment. You never once think she's doing it for any other reason except genuine ride or die vibes. So I commend them for fully committing. I do not think for a second she'll betray him or do anything weird, and she'll give the throne to him. Like, all that stuff is fully in. Cool.
There's even a line where she says, "If I can't bring Locke back, then there's no point in me being here," kind of thing.
Yep, I'll buy it. And then we get the scene, I guess, the triad of parents and adopted child.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh. I remember an interview before the start of the season where they asked these trio, "So what development are you getting?" And obviously they know, well, we have like 4 scenes together and it's all plot based. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this and this and this." I'm thinking, nah, you're probably not going to get much because it's not an important relationship really. Not really. But this is it. This is the scene. It's like, it's okay. It's fine. It's right.
I mentioned the 10C.
Yeah.
Well, not that long ago, I was going over to the 10C planet.
Yep.
And you were worried about me. Now the roles are reversed.
Yes.
Good luck.
And it's so awkward to be able to beam out in 1 second. It makes goodbyes weird because they don't properly say goodbye. I feel like it's just like, "Good luck." Oh, I was gonna give you a hug and say another goodbye, and I know it's very abrupt.
Yeah.
And that's the scene.
Yeah, it is.
And then we get the crew with chemistry. This is good. I wish this was longer.
Yeah. Is it just me, or does anyone notice he doesn't sit in the captain's chair? We've all noticed. He avoids it like the plague.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good.
Interesting.
That's a correct payoff or payoff setup. So previous setup, there was enough far enough to go that you feel like it's a payoff. So.
Yep. So anyway, back on the shuttle.
And good VFX. Everything on the black holes looks great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, why don't they detect the shuttle? Because it's not cloaked.
Gravitational distortions from the black hole would be my explanation.
So why do you need the ship to be cloaked if they can't detect things?
I don't fucking...
Because they can detect the shuttle if they can detect the ship, because the power signature is still going to be giant. I mean, they're in no sentiment to cloaking or whatever. They just go up to it.
Maybe the shuttle's cloaked.
It's not, though. I mean, I agree, it could have been, but it's not. Just don't address.
Oh, man. Anyway, 3,000 degrees Kelvin. It'd be perfect to cover our transporter signature. But we only have 60 seconds. And then I love the whole science later problem now thing. That was used twice. That was really good.
Used twice? What was the other time?
Right after it. Burnham says, science later problem now. She goes, there's only 2 people there.
Uh-huh.
And then Reese says...
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
When's the first time, then? Because I thought that was the only time.
That is the first time. Hold on. And then Reese says... where is it here? Why can't we beam someplace else? To which Adira immediately says, science later problem now. We just can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's her answer. I thought that was hilarious.
So when's the second one?
That is the second one.
Oh, when's the first one?
Burnham, just a second ago.
Oh, both times I missed. Okay. Yeah, that I laughed out loud. That I thought was a really nice. That's a very knowing line. And guys, we're an hour in. We've had 1 super chat. You guys do not care about this episode. We're trying to make it entertaining.
Also, helmets on now, right before our ship gets destroyed. Why not have the helmets on sooner than that, before you beam in?
I mean, you can't see very well. I love how Burnham's hair magically forms up into a helmet, which it would not fit.
Yeah.
And again, this is a very long scene for what is ostensibly meaningless. Like, again, the grand scheme of a finale. You could have done so many other ways of doing this. I kind of like this moment of yelling at them, but they do it like 3 times, and every time it makes me appreciate the Breen less, because it's just yelling at people is enough for them to back down.
Well, she mentioned that earlier. They're very hierarchical systems, so we won't have much problem.
But that means you can kind of bluff your way into things. They feel stupider than they should, because it just doesn't feel good them to be constantly broken down with 0 effort.
There is a scene that made me laugh. It's where you have like the comic book panel of all 3 of their faces. Aye, Captain. It's like, seriously? They did that in episode 1.
Yep.
Yeah, with split screen, but
yep,
it's just kind of ridiculous. More like out of a Marvel movie.
I don't think Book would say it either. He knows her too well, if you know what I mean.
Oh, and then we get a beautiful shot of the Voyager J,
and it's gone.
Yeah,
it made it. It made it, and for some reason all the windows are orange, yellow for some reason.
Most people probably weren't even aware that was Voyager.
And then we get an entire redundant scene. And again, the grand scheme.
Yeah, Siri volunteers. Even though Serena's trying to get a list, and he's like, "No, it's my ship, my former ship, and I end up been dealing with the Breen lately, so it makes sense for me to go." I wish he would have said it was the logical choice at this point, but he doesn't. And Serena walks away, and it's like, "Oh shit, did Saru do something bad?" Anywho's.
Yep. And I think from this scene, based on this shot, I think the president's pregnant. To explain why she's not in the season, because her neck is very bloaty, that feels like pregnancy, and it'll explain why she's only in 1 episode, or 2 episodes, I mean. And there's a few side shots, I'm like, I feel like the uniform's hiding pregnancy.
Could be.
If it is, good for her, because she looks like she might be pregnant. So good for you if you are.
But yeah, so the plan is to not send in a ship to talk to the other Primarch, to send in a shuttle because it's less threatening, and they can't send the president because they might need her for negotiations later, so then Saru's going to go. That's the whole thing. That's the plan.
Basically, who wants to do a suicide mission?
Yep.
Because you don't negotiate with Breen, you've not done it successfully, you have no cards on the table at all.
Yeah.
And not just that, but they're going to send on their experimental pathway drives into the hands of Breen scientists to take and reverse engineer for them. That's not smart, is it? Idiots. Yeah. It's a dumb scene. It's not a good scene. Back to Iron Man. We have real sets though. But second time you realise it's the same exact room. And this, I mean, it is not even 2 rooms, it's 1 room. So I thought there was a bit more to it than the first time. And again, look at the height difference. I mean, she looks like a lady, she walks like a lady, she's short as no end.
And Book walks like Book. Got that kind of loose vibe going on, not a militaristic vibe at all.
Yeah, you can tell it's the actors, which I kind of love. But also, that's not a good thing.
Later, when she walks kind of funny too.
But that's not a good thing. And I don't know why they never even address the fact that they have these long pauses in conversation.
Because we're waiting for the translation or something to say.
As they wait for translation and hear things. Like, they don't even address it, that Breen can, of course, have very long pauses. I don't... It's awkward, the entire episode, and they don't... Yeah, it's just... Again, they're also wasting more time. I don't know.
Yeah. And the whole, are you confident about this? What makes you think I'm not? That slight cock of the head. I know you so well. And that's where it's like, come here, I got to tell you something. It's not an ideal time, but...
I know I've only got 11 minutes to blow up, but just so you know.
Yeah.
And I commend them for achieving a scene where they have 0 face-to-face contact and it still works okay. Because that's all actors, right? They're both in separate studios on different days, filming this to a camera. Talk about heart-to-heart in the worst sort of acting situation, so good job there.
I love that it's weird too, because like Burnham and book, you can kind of. Dira seems really like black cloth here.
Yeah.
The other ones, you don't notice it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like puckered. It's like a blop
yeah.
vibe. Yeah. Look, not everyone wears the black cloth successfully.
So it's like I didn't try either. I'm sorry. Move along. Let's go. Move along home.
You know, it's fine dialogue.
Yeah.
And considering the situation of like can't act with it, it's fine, but it would have been better last week or at the start.
Yes, all of those things.
But it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's a shift change. Now's a good time to do things. What? How do you know it's a shift change? Just because there's a squad of Breen roaming the hall? Anyway, it's fine. Yes. So now they're down at the device, and we're like, we got to send somebody in with proper equipment this time instead of just some rando. And so yeah, and Reese and Adira arrive on the bridge.
Although it looks identical, so
yeah, it's pretty awful.
Same costume, same lighting, same feeling background. It hasn't got the same literal background, but it's out of focus and dull, and they're really hard to tell to the point of you lose track basically instantly.
I did like he's the lowest ranking guy here. I always pick on the ensign. That's kind of funny.
Good, yeah.
And then she orders them. That's an order. Kind
of Why are you 2 foot shorter than me? Shut up. Shut up yourself.
I love how Maul even notices. She looks over her shoulder and kind of like, I don't know Breen well enough to it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now they're hacking.
Yes. Anyway, back on Discovery.
Here's pacing.
He is. Making sure everything's good, and then yeah, Tilly's like, you could sit in the chair, right? The captain trusts you. We trust you to lead us. I love. I asked you to serve with me. You're smart. You're a good leader, I guess. And if you and I were in a foxhole, I wouldn't kill you, unless you try some of that warm, fuzzy stuff, because I don't need it. It's kind of funny.
It's weird.
It is weird.
But
I love it.
Yeah, it's not their best work with him, but it's decent. And I mostly buy that she says, we didn't trust you at the start, but we trust you now. I kind of buy it. Like, mostly it's still a bit like, because it's the end of the season we trust you, versus we've done things together. Because he's sort of in the background of every scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it mostly is fine, but kind of a bit more, but mostly.
Yeah.
At least they address it, right? Because that's very important. I really like later on, it feels like a payoff, I don't know if it's intentional, but there's an edit where he says call the dreadnought, and the communication guy doesn't flinch. It's a potentially stupid order, right? Like, horrendously risky. He does it without even flinching, and that's because he trusts him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional, but that I thought was a really nice little, very small payoff to it.
There's not a lot of meat here, honestly.
See what I mean?
We go through this.
Yeah, they try and get into a room without knowing what they need to get into the room, and they are surprised it fails.
I also hate how the Breen goes up and does this, and then the door opens and he stands there like pantomime.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, and then down. It's like the most awkward. And also, this Breen's shorter, so it's shorter than normal Breens. Every normal Breen size has to go like. It's just padding. It really is just padding. Because that's what I mean. This is a heist episode. They walk to a room. They laser eye their way in, and then they try and turn off a shield. That's it. That is the entire heist, right? It's not a good heist. I don't know why people are saying online it's one of the best heists they've seen in a while. It's like, it really isn't.
I have not seen that.
I saw some pretty high praise saying it was a really strong heist episode. It really isn't. It's a very passable, but it's a straight line heist. They just do the thing and it fails. There's no actual twists. So yeah, this again is mega padding. I don't know why they think there's okay.
Yeah. We were told to report here. You didn't turn in your form.
I mean, that's
lied.
kind of funny. I like that.
That's freaking great. But then, as you pointed out in our review, let's disable the Breen by disconnecting his breathing hose on their own ship. What? Okay, cool.
That's not how that works. You should know better, show. They don't need that.
Olivia Julius is here with $10. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
Amazing.
here at Trekyards, we are in a sad event. Next week, Stuart will slip out of his young 40s and into being able to order off the seniors menu. Stuart, I'm sorry you're getting old. Thank you, Olivia.
Is that true?
I appreciate it.
Is he a citizen tomorrow? What?
No. I got to be 60 or 62 or something like that around here. I don't know.
I also don't like the fact that, and this is lots of things, right? But the fact that these two people, who are not like the most Marines ever, right? In armor they've never worn before, and any time a swordsman gets a new sword, they don't transfer the same skills because you know your art in the way you know it, right? You give a dagger user a rapier, they will not be able to do the same level of proficiency. It's not transferable to the same degree. So I don't really believe that these two people who've never worn the suit before, do not know how slow it is, whatever, can effortlessly take out two very good guards of one of the top ships of the entire fleet. Like, stop doing that sort of stupidity, right? You are that you're not in the home soil, and you don't know how physically strong you are. It can't be that easy, especially later on. What does I say? Miles says, "I thought your guards are better than that." They are, but they got beaten up in 2 moves. You know what I mean? It's just not good writing. There are other ways. Like if they'd had, for example, Burnham had said, implant tasers into our arms. So when you go up to them, tap them, put them on the shoulder, they all disappear. You could easily have had a clever way around it. Really easily. And they just punch them and it seems dumb.
Yeah. And Sonic Sean makes a good point. Yeah, they take 40 minutes to fail and then the ship shoots its way in. Yep, exactly.
And, I don't know if you noticed, but I did second time, about a minute and a half into the 7-minute sequence, she's like, any more direct hits and we're gone! But the whole 5, but that's all of the... And also, why not decloak at the shuttle bay?
You need that power for phasers, apparently. I don't know.
But they didn't do anything. That wasn't the point of them. I don't know why he decloaked that far away to get shot for 2 minutes when they could just have... Closer? Doesn't make sense. Plot hole. Anyway, they get into the shuttle bay / bridge / shuttle bay.
Well, speaking of not making sense.
Oh, excellent.
Olivia throws in $5. Oh. Good news, Trekyards. Next month, Sam becomes old enough to eat more than Gerber baby food. Wow, she's just dishing it out to us today, isn't she?
Yep. That's okay. It's true. I'm getting damn close, and it is sad. But Nick has confirmed to my party, so I'm very happy with that.
Nice.
Because he almost wasn't able to arrive, so I'm very happy. Oh, and speaking of Stuart, speaking of being happy, Star Trek Resurgence has just released their Steam version. And as part of their Steam version, which I have now bought again, twice now, they have included a walking around the ship feature.
Nice, yeah, I saw that.
So if you'd like to go around, then you can. I haven't downloaded it because I just got I think yesterday when it finished. Yeah, go and get it. Go and get it. Really, please do support it. And I mean that'd be cool. I like that ship design a lot. It'd be interesting to see how they integrate things. I know we talked to the designers about them. So yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Wonder how many people will actually buy that just for that though.
Probably not enough, but yeah.
Yep.
But please, everyone, currently it's 20% deal right now. It was only like $25-30. Please do go buy it. The only way we can have them make more is if we support them. So go buy Resurgence again if you can. It's absolutely worth it. And you get bonus stuff. You get the soundtrack. You get some exclusive artwork stuff. And like I say, the ability to walk around the ship. That really excited about. Yeah, please do.
Yes.
It's better than this episode. It's better than all 4 seasons of Discovery.
It's better than this episode.
I mean, that's proper Star Trek. Like shockingly proper. Anyway. Right, so they're at this rather cool set piece with stuff. Like, it looks cool. They send in science person. I like the scene, but I would have been so much more satisfied had they actually got telemetry. Like that Stargate episode from... Remember the season 1 where they sent Ernest through the gate, and then... Because they think it's water, he's in like a diver's outfit.
Yeah.
And they get some time with him before the gate shuts down and kills the rope. To lose the guy in 1 second takes all the tension away. If he'd reported back with information, you could have teased, but it's instant and unsatisfying to me, personally. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's kind of funny that the tether that's attached to the floor goes with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
Wouldn't you make a replicable matter one? That like a shield matrix as well, rather than just a piece of metal?
I mean...
Doesn't
maybe.
matter. Or a tractor beam, even. Oh well. Doesn't matter, Stuart. They don't care. But anyway, shield's back up. We've got to turn it off. And Burnham puts a rather fun holographic version of she becomes science. That's fun.
That's cool. I like that. Well, I guess I'm science now. You got to cause a distraction.
Props for the distraction.
Yeah. So who you going with? It's like, what? Anyway, he's like, "Oh, yeah. You want to join my you wish to be one of my Sark mates?" Sure, why not? Well, we'll prepare a space for you in the oil bath. I thought that was hilarious.
I just think that the audio balancing was pretty bad. I really wanted to hear the jokes. And I could only hear half of the jokes. And that was the fun bit. Yeah. I know he said oil baths because Burnham said oil bath, and my brain translated what he said a second ago. It's a funny idea. I wish it was done better.
Yep.
And they clearly don't recognise each other. The Breen. Because the Breen would not know this person in any way. And you don't ask a stranger out. You know?
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but there's nothing there beyond the joke, which they could have made something fun with. It's like, are you new? Yes, I was on the Z shift. Oh yeah, it sucks on that. Yeah, like you could have had a really good scene. It's a good scene, but it's not a really good scene.
I work in lower decks, but I got a promotion.
It's the shuttle bay, or is this the bridge? No, it's shuttle bay.
Eric Martin, $5.
Eric!
Just stopping in to say hi. Hello, Eric. Good to see you.
Eric, what do you think of the episode? Stop by for a second. What do you think of the episode? Give us a brief review. I really want to know what you think. And Chuck's at Vegas. Excellent. Now, what was Burnham doing to this? I still don't know, having watched it twice. She spins things into the red.
I don't fucking know. She's watching the progress bar go down, too, as she does it. So, I don't know. Just turn it off. How difficult is it?
I don't know what she's doing. It
looks like she's planting explosives on the dials.
But she's obviously not, because they didn't bring any.
Moving on. Anyway, they ask Adira and Reese how things are going. And good. We're in. So
good.
You can activate it anytime you want, or deactivate the shields, I mean. Then we get Maul freaking out about, wasn't the cable bonded to the floor? The force was too great. Yeah. And we're missing guards from outside their posts, outside the shuttle bay. I thought your guys were better trained than that. They are. Oh, no. I want to full lock down the shuttle bay. I want to check everybody's whatever qualifications.
You don't need to see my identification, Stuart.
Yeah. I do, though. Who are you? Speaking of, did you send that?
No, I've been...
Okay, there you go.
Good job. Good segue. Now, back in Saru's office, they have a conversation.
Yeah, he thought he was...
And they hug like Doug Jones hugs everybody. That's all I thought. Everyone he hugs like that.
He thought she was asking for a list because she didn't want him to go. And she's like, no, I just wanted to make sure that you would make the right choice and actually go. I'm going to have your name on the list. He's like, that wouldn't stop me. Vulcans aren't the only species that can, separate emotion from duty. Good point. I thought it was fine. It's a good thing.
Skip.
Yeah.
Why is this in the pre-final episode? I don't get it.
Oh, when she touches his chin. Beep. Oh. She booped him. So yeah, even though everybody's in lockdown in the shuttle bay and they're all lining up, she's still doing the thing. That's not suspicious at all.
Yep. They just commend them for how many suits they built.
Yeah. But Raynor has an idea, and Michael says, "I trust you. Just do it. You don't have to tell me what it is."
I like that was a good line.
And the whole nothing is more unnerving to people or grabs their attention more than an unwelcome guest, especially one that you think is dead.
Sure.
Which is great.
Yeah, I agree.
Which apparently interrupts the whole I'm inspecting everybody in the shuttle bay routine, though, because Maul was heading down there and it's like, "What? We got an incoming hail from Discovery."
And her main line is, "I don't care." That's all she says in the scene, give or take. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Sure, fair.
I did like the whole "you killed the captain" thing.
Yeah.
Well, last 5 seconds.
Well, I actually really liked the idea that she was going to say it, and she did say it wasn't me, it wasn't us. I really liked for 1.3 seconds that she was going to say, "Well, why don't we make a deal? Let's push that idea that she's not here to be a dick. Like do something really interesting with it." They don't, but they could have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also he says the Federation can protect you. And I'm thinking, one dreadnought can destroy anything you have.
And everything you have, as we learned when they went to the future.
Because I remember that later Burnham says it, and you said, "Well, it's because she's buying time."
No, it's Raynor says it.
Oh, it is saying, yeah. It just feels disingenuous and daft, and he's not the sort of guy to bluff in that way, because I thought it was Burnham that said it. It's just a bit weird.
I thought it was too the first time. That's what I said in the review. But on second rewatch, it's like, no, it's Raynor that said that.
I guess we both thought that. Yeah. It's just It's kind of like the you go out drinking, you're hungover, so I'll never go drink again. It's like you're lying as soon as you say it. It's like he knows he's lying. He knows he can't do anything. Like one of these dreadnoughts is insanity, in a good way, and she's got her fleet. It's like, yeah, you're doomed, guys. You're doomed. Doomed.
Anyway, so yeah, Maul leaves. Burnham actually finally deactivates the quarantine field. Yes. And then they try putting on the transpo device, whatever the fuck it's called.
They never say it clearly enough to know what it's called.
Transpo lock. That's what it's called.
I never knew that, having watched it twice, and they say it many times. And again, this is a terrible expectation thing. This is the plot of the episode. They're stopped in 3 seconds. And editing-wise, it's really, really awkward because Maul's leaving room A, which was identical to room B. They get stopped within 1 second. The Breen shoot, and clearly the VFX artists didn't know how to make that work because they all miss, but doesn't feel like a ring of intentionality. It's like, well, are you trying to shoot them or not? I guess not. Then it cuts on top, and they're literally a foot away, and suddenly Maul's there.
Well,
all of that was really bad editing.
We know the bridge is on the shuttle bay. It's just literally 10 feet away.
Look,
it's all the
she
same.
Jumped.
God. Yeah, she ran over, I guess.
Like, it's fine. She can beam there in 1 second. Obviously, right? That's this future, and that's obviously what had to have happened. But editing-wise, it's really weird to have it cut from she's in one room to instantly the next room and right there. It just edits really, really poorly. And I would love to have seen just a better framing of this. She beam in, or we found them. She beams in. It's really poorly edited, like pacing-wise. Although beautiful CG of fake helmets into real, that's great. And
it is, except Burnham's hair sticking out.
I was about to say, yeah, god damn it, because that would be fucking nightmare fuel. Yeah, literally. It's a CG helmet over. Well, that's an error, isn't it? Wow, that's hilarious. Is there hair in the top shot as well? Maybe, but probably not. No, okay, yeah. So it's not in the previous shot. So her hair suddenly exists because they didn't want to do that. Ah, that's so funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
Oh god, idiots. That's actually not that hard a thing to replace, actually, in post.
You should have had the helmet disappear and all of a sudden the hair go. Just fall down.
Oh, god damn it. It's literally a visual error. That's hilarious. Although, good for them for the light hitting their faces as it goes over. That's hard to do, actually, given nothing happened. Actually, that's really well done, actually. Huh. But the pacing here is like, oh, all this setup. Oh, what's happening now? What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, go buy Resurgence on Steam. It's great.
Yes, go buy Resurgence on Steam.
That's the good stuff to go. It's just funny.
Get ready to lower shields. We'll get a signal from Verna when she's ready. And then you get Maul talking to them. How'd you get on board? A good carrier never reveals their secrets. Well, that's cute. Was that your mentor that taught you that? Again, this is another plot thread that I don't think is really going to go anywhere.
I actually forgot that was a thing. I forgot a line was a thing until he's reminded me. It's like, oh yeah, that was a huge plot point.
Yeah.
What was the point in doing as much of it for that? We're not even going to see anything about Booker, are we, in the next episode?
We're not going to see about Culver's spirituality issues. We're not going to scientific luminary thing with Stamets. Yep.
So it's not even pandemic affected or reshoot affected, like, properly. Like,
I love how Maul does say, throw them in the brig. We'll drop you off somewhere.
yes, good for
Instead
her.
of just killing them, you know? So...
I mean, honestly, it would have been a boss move just to shoot Book there and kill him, and then she has to save him. That'd be a boss move. Or kill Burnham too.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't have been a big loss.
As far as she knew, like a second ago, Burnham was dead. So, not so dead after all. Nah, you are. Take that, Book.
Yeah. And she stealth discusses her plan, which is okay. It's always hard, those sorts of things. I think
it ties in so well with the first episode, though. Remember, when I was on the outside of your ship trying to get in. I knew my crew would come for me. It's like she's just recapping how they first met, literally, but it's also sending a message to Rainier, which is great.
The first time I watched it, I thought Maul should obviously get it because I was listening. It's quite a dense little moment. Second time, it's like it actually makes sense. She's all she's saying is they'll come for me, and therefore Maul's reply of like makes more sense second time. First time I was trying to understand it. Second time it works better. Although let's look at this poll though, guys. 52 votes with 51 people here. What do you think of this episode? A pretty stonking victory of 46% liked it, with second best okay at 25%. Yeah. Didn't love it 21%, and 8% loved it. So we have about 4 people that actually loved it. Interesting. Another poll coming.
We only have 36 likes with 51 people here. Let's try to get those likes up to 50 if you can. Hit that like button. We'd really appreciate that. Feel free to super chat in. A little light on super chats this one. And if you can help us out at the end, that'd be awesome. We are going to ask for super chat scores out of 10 as well, which we'd appreciate. And not only get your voice heard and highlighted and all that, we do read them, and it also helps out the channel and us, and we appreciate that if you can. So please consider doing that. Get your scores in mind for this episode, because we are coming to the end, and then it'll be your time to shine, giving your score out of 10. So do the things. But hit the like button. It's easy, it's free, it's all that stuff. And that also shows your support for the channel as well.
But we do need the super chat thoughts. You know, this is meant to be the big live of the week, guys, to have your thoughts on the new episodes. It's just sad how little people care about Discovery, but you know, we're here either way. So jump in and
there's a new poll to go vote on.
There is.
Will the last episode be a letdown? Yes. There you go. That's all you need. A satisfying conclusion, or as best as these are the voyages. Oh. Or as bad as, sorry.
Which is
best.
quite a bold sentiment, but you never know. Because this is also finishing a whole franchise of side Trek, right? So it is a bit more giant. And in fairness, I would actually love it to be a holodeck simulation. Obviously, that would actually benefit massively. If they brought back Freights and Marina for another holodeck simulation, looking significantly older. It's like, yeah, I'll take that.
No, it's all a test Burnham has been going through at the Vulcan Science Institute to see how she would handle.
So Sarek and Spock and Amanda on a table. Well, we know she can put the hair back to season 1. What have you learned, Michael? I've learned to not be Vulcan-y because people are not good at it. Yes. And what else? I'm going to leave Starfleet. I don't do good things. Because what's happening next? Battle of the Iron Star. Nope. Nope.
Put me in a stasis pod for about 900 years. This is Guy Book I want to meet.
Yeah. Or 2,000 years and I can meet the other guy from Calypso.
Craft.
Zora, tell me how deep freeze when you get ready. Goodness. Anyway, so I like Rayna here for the most part. The plan, it's pretty decent. Because now we're getting to the pace. This should have been the first half. I think, from now on, it's pretty good.
Yeah, now it's really good, yeah.
So, the upbeat end, for sure.
I just always hate how heist things always go wrong. Like, I wish they would have got... you don't need to throw these, like, wrenches in at the last minute to, like, make it more exciting. I just hate that every time. It's such a trope.
Or if you do, make them bigger
dramatic effect
and more interesting. You know, like how amazing would it have been had they got it off, and the twist would have been the Breen re-beamed and had to heist Discovery. You know what I mean? Like literally a reversal.
Yeah. It just always frustrates me when it's like the plan was good, and then it always gets. Anyway, it's fine. So yes, the plan is to smash through the containment field. Everything in there is going to get sucked out into space, including Book and Michael,
Mike,
and Mikey, and the thing, and they'll beam them in. So it's fine. Then we get a scene with Culber and Stamets. Will this really work? Yeah, as long as the shields hold, the math doesn't lie. It's power of math, people. Everybody forgot that. Okay.
Well, okay, I thought that math was really the best I've ever done. The way he said it and the timing, I thought, yeah, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
My issue is that, okay, the plan has been set. 2.3 seconds later, Culber, I just heard. From who?
Yeah. I never thought about that.
Who is yelling to the ship? Right, we're doing this thing in about 45 seconds. Quick, I best. Who have you just heard this from? It's not. I've heard. Who?
It's got an open communication link with Tilly. He hears everything on the bridge.
But then you haven't just heard. You've been spying. I just don't get it. Like, it's literally a 1 second edit, and he didn't even beam in. He walked, so he had to be mid travel. Heard from the. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Just... Okay. What are you on about? You didn't just hear. Why aren't you beaming? You're saving time. Oy vey.
Regardless, right after that, we get phasers.
We do.
Phaser beams.
We get phasers, red torpedoes, and blue pulsars, and they're all lovely. Good sound effects, good beam energy. The Dreadnought shooting a lot of weapons at them. They don't ever fire the big giant beams that could kill them instantly, but okay. And I love how they miss. Only in second watch, in later battle bits, they miss almost all their shots. Even though the Dreadnought is like 150 decks. Discovery is, I mean, it's quite thin, but it's small. They're shooting this way, and the ship's flying, they're going this way. Why are they missing? They are... If there's never been a good Discovery space battle... Never. From an actual battle point of view. It's great to see the phasers. I don't understand the hell missing. It's not as if Discovery's even travelling, it's just doing this. That's not evasiving. There's nothing to target. They just shoot this, like... Even in the later when we see inside looking out, it's just flying forwards.
There's a little bit of a...
I mean... Breen can easily adjust for a slight tilt.
Well, Dave throws in 2 pounds. Starfleet fires first now.
Yes. Rayner's this guy. I'm 0. It's a good point, but no, Rayner would. And he's also these weapons aren't actually there to do anything except distract. Think about it. They never affect the shields. The weapons aren't at any point integral to the shielding of the shuttle. It's the impact that does it. So they're just there to do something, to make noise, which I'm actually fine with. So, you know, it's like throwing rocks at a metal fortress. Like, you know it's not going to do anything, but it makes noise. Fine with it.
And Dave says, not even the Battle of the Binary Stars?
No.
The lighting in that one is also atrocious.
And also, if you look at it, they start doing this, and then...
That's exactly how it sounds.
And then Europa's just staying still with the sarcophagus going just into it. It's like, what is... No. There's like 2 decently framed shots of it going... But then the weapons are horrendous, and there's destroying... No, absolutely awful.
But we find out they just lost Torpedo Bay 7. How many torpedo bays does Discovery have now?
Yep.
It's a lot of torpedo bays, I'm just saying.
Yep. But yet no quantums.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
Or Tricobalt, which are far more strong.
Yeah.
Voyager had them.
They all got destroyed in the burn.
And we couldn't reuse that 73 metric tons of lithium to make more. So we had that spare 3 weeks ago. Spare. Because I had forgotten this, Stuart, but in season 3 they said all the lithium exploded.
All the lithium in an active warp core.
No. There's a clip. All the lithium, like mined lithium, went up.
And there's also a line that says all the lithium in an active warp core.
Oh yes, both. Yeah, as well. Some weird other Because then we assumed it was the past the radius would then be active still versus. Doesn't matter. Anyway, they have another fist fight and win against top guards. The ones that are set there to protect them, and I mean.
Well, you could make the argument that they're actually fighting the scientists that were there studying the device, because we don't know
the guard scientists. No, because the scientists have a little thing on the chest.
The main scientists do, yes.
I mean, I guess you could have non-main guard scientists.
Yes.
Wait, where was the 10 guards a second ago? Because remember there was like they're all pointing guns. Why is there?
They're on their lunch break. They're union. Union workers.
Mandatory lunch. Yeah. It is cool to see Discovery firing in the background though. That is fun. All credit to them for that. Even though all the shots are meaningless, it's a fun looking shot. Oh yeah, and then the lady says, "Any more direct hits? Are we knocked out?" Cue all the more direct hits, but okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Adira drops the shields. Reese has a fist fight with a bunch of guards on the bridge, which would be highly trained guards. And they get
one
beamed
purpose,
out.
Not to shoot them,
to
punch them.
And Adira just stands there like,
yep.
You don't know what to do.
Literally pointless and meaningless. Could have just... Nope.
To be fair, she wouldn't know which one is Reese with them rolling around and shoot the wrong guy.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way the helmet could detect fake armor if they programmed it to IFF. Wouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, Adira is shockingly inefficient in this moment. Oh, and also you said Adira turned the shields down, but the shields are up still. Because they ram into the shield. So what did they turn off then?
They ran into the containment field for the bay.
Right.
He already said that a minute ago.
Okay, why couldn't they turn off
ram the containment field?
Why couldn't they turn off the containment field then?
Because they hadn't thought about that prior for this plan.
Why couldn't they tell Adira they had plenty of time?
Because she's at the shield control module.
But they're a hacker. Hacker is hacking more than just the shields. You would think the main shields are harder to get into than the
But
base.
it's a Teutonic system, which is hard to hack.
Well, and also it's not the bay shields because they're in the bridge. No, they're not. They're in the shuttle.
Maul's in the shuttle bay.
Yeah,
That's where they ran through.
But
even though.
Anyway, so they're probably screwed, and Maul's like, I must go in because it's better to die than not be with them, and therefore try and run into the light. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a good little twist. Obvious second time, but felt like a twist the first time.
And Burnham's like, I'm gonna go right after her because I actually know the real clue for in there.
And then Book just kills the guy.
And then, we see Discovery come in, and you actually see the nacelles slide up.
It's really obvious second time if you look for it. It actually is quite a long moment.
It's a really cool configuration when they're up, though, I gotta say.
And this is a great bit of CG, turning around the explosion, which is obviously LED wall set, and then following it. It's such a really nice little thing. It feels like the whole thing could go up, because we're in an explosion, so it feels a grander scope than it's meant to be. But keep in mind, it's just petrol explosions for some reason in a shuttle bay bridge. This is a shuttle bay. Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, it's cool, though.
Yeah, and then the device goes out and starts...
I guess it was hit by something to cause destabilization, I guess.
Could be, or it could be debris hitting it or something that's...
Well, I think it's explosions out. I think it's lost containment field.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't expect this to happen. I thought this was an unexpected twist.
Yes.
As it explodes into the real anomaly, which it lingers on for a nice hot second. Which is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Very sci-fi.
And, yeah, Tilly's like, she's gone. And Book's like, no, she's not. She went in the anomaly.
Is it temporal?
No. This scene's weird because you see this thing form, and then the next scene, I think it was just an editing error, because the next scene is like, block onto it with a tractor beam. Well, at this point you can't because it's already become a portal. But it's like there's too much debris. This scene, I think, should have been right before this last scene of it.
There's no debris next to it.
I'm just saying, that's what I mean. When they were it was all coming out of the shuttle bay, there's a lot of debris. This scene should have been edited before this unveiling of this portal.
Literally no meaningful debris around it.
Yeah.
That's not why you can't beam it. Like gravity or its mega technology. No, the debris. It's like, yep, nope. 32nd century transporters, Stuart, and they can't work out a single beam because of debris.
Tractor beam.
Even easier, Stuart. You have to dematerialize matter. Even easier. But yeah, portal appears. A very gung ho next part. The portal looks even weirder the close up. Jesus, it's like a wet portal now. It's weird. I'm assuming it's big enough for the ship to fly through. That's the impetus I got from the end of the episode. Because if they're not going to send anything through, and I assume it's going to fly straight in next episode, Bosch, done. I assume that's what they're heavily implying. Because why else would it be big, right? Like, otherwise it would be a small portal, but it obviously expanded much bigger. Can't he? Still can't he?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hi.
Rainer's like, our captain's in there. Progenitor's tech's in there. Hopefully. We're going to get it back. Failure's not an option. All right, I'm going to sit in the chair now. Shut you all up. He does that a lot.
I love things by hitting them gently.
Let's do this.
And it's a pretty good dumph next part. Pretty good.
I was excited, and all it's like credits, and I'm like, oh, seriously.
And this could have.
So it achieved what I wanted to do at the end, at least.
And you could absolutely have had the next 12 minutes be the next part. Like it's kind of begging for maybe him.
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen at the beginning of the next one? I see Rainer sitting in the chair, and Tilly's gonna reiterate that Michael is inside.
Yeah.
Can we go in? It's big enough, but should we? I don't know. This happened. Are we gonna get her back again? It goes from this like, let's do this to, Please tell us exactly what happened in the last episode again. I bet you any money it's going to hit the brakes right at the beginning for discussion on the bridge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's yeah. They're not very yeah. That is how I feel about this. Just need to make a little group between the actors who are in the hotel. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Guys, vote on the poll if you haven't. We have 28 votes. We have 55 of you here. The more votes, the better. So go vote on the poll and hit the like button. We need 7 more likes to get to 50. Shouldn't be a problem. I'd like to get to 50 likes if we can. And now's your chance as well to super chat in with your scores out of 10. We will read those all on the air. At least I will, after we give our final thoughts and scores on this episode. And so yeah, super chat in with your scores out of 10. And if you just put it in the regular chat, Sam will read those out when we're done as well. So yeah, this is episode 9. There's only one more to go for the final season of Discovery. So let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. And voting on the poll is important in that regard as well. We want to kind of get a pulse of what's going on with you guys out there. But yeah. So, anywho's. Yeah, no, Ozzy, no, let's fly. No, I like it. Let's do it. So Rainier's is much better. It was a great end beat, I think. Let's do this. I'm kind of surprised that 24th century scientists were able to squash the portal into that container. Doesn't feel right for TNG tech. It doesn't, but if they talked to the progenitors and the progenitors helped them do it, maybe. Who knows? And they will do that right after the show in that skip intro that I always do, or skip recap. It was like 2 minutes and 5 seconds of recap for this one. It's like, we don't need last time on every fucking time. We're not stupid.
Or at least add 2 minutes and keep the episodes a length that's respectable. Because I really think there's only about 17 minutes worth of real content in this episode.
Maybe, yeah.
If you take out the padding, it actually is padding. The padding, the redundancy, and the unimportant overall arc stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet. I totally would have re-edited the last 2 as well to make this one bigger, and then next week with epilogue. Definitely some reordering that would have happened for me if I was.
Yeah, I wish this would have been the final one, and then a whole episode of saying goodbye, basically having the wedding, doing all the things. Tilly back at the academy. Yeah, you could do a lot with that if you knew going in that this would be the last season. So
weird. So Stuart, having now reviewed it, discussed it, I think fair to say found many new plot holes. What are your now detailed thoughts? And we want people to jump in as well. What are your detailed thoughts having had this entire experience of this episode? And do you feel any different, Stuart? Are you more on the page I started with yesterday morning?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but that being said, the ending had me going, "Ooh, what's next?" Which is quite rare for Discovery, so at least give them that. But it was the last couple of minutes were really action-packed and good. I just wish it would have been more of the episode. Yeah, a lot of the Breen Dreadnought interiors are just freaking awful. I didn't even really think about the bridge thing until you mentioned it. But it literally is the exact same set. It even looks like cargo bay containers behind them. Like, what kind of dreadnought is this? Is every floor just a cargo? It's just dumb. I think the Rainier and Tilly moments were good. Everybody's acting was pretty good, honestly, in this one. I wish the heist thing would have been truncated a lot. Like I said, that montage at the beginning where she's explaining what they're doing and you kind of see it would have been much better than explain it, see it for some reason, and then watch them leave the room, get into their suits, say goodbye to... Yeah, there's a lot of pacing issues, at least story-wise, in the first little bit that could have been cleared up. Overall, it kind of sped through pace-wise, but I just think to tighten it up as a story in the writing department would have been a much better idea. So, disappointed with the whole what they found. It wasn't impressive. I was hoping for something a little bit more than that. It is a gateway to an extra-dimensional... Or is an extra-dimensional portal, which is cool. I'm sure that'll be awesome next week, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, just the little barrel device that they found was kind of not upsetting, but disappointing. Liked the idea of the puzzle pieces forming a key that actually opened it. That was a neat idea, but I don't know, man. I don't have much else to say, to be fair. Reese got more stuff to do, which is great. Anyway, so score-wise,
there's any people before you jump in? Is there any super chat scores? I'm interested.
There's 2 at least.
We'll throw in those first, just to see what people think, and then you can.
Well, Mark Lawrence, $5. The last action bit helped. 8 out of 10 for Discovery.
Oh wow!
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Dave, member for 26 months. Saving the money for the finale, right? Right?
Yes. Maybe.
Ozzy, $5. I give it a 7.9 out of 10. Mom gives it an 8. Donnie gives it an 8 out of 10 also, apparently.
Okay, your score, Stuart. I mean,
for this season, I'll probably give this one a 7.9. For all of Discovery, yeah, honestly, for all of Discovery, this is probably like an 8.1 for me. It's pretty good for Discovery. We went into this season too so optimistic. Like, this is good. It's a good story. It's a great idea. Tying in TNG, progenitors. Hell yeah. And then each week, just like last season, it was like, oh, okay. Sorry. What about you?
As much as they might mean well, they've proven, again, they can't maintain a series arc, and they can't structure weekly episodes to be fully satisfying. They just can't.
A binge watch is probably a lot better, but... So how about you? Has our discussion changed anything? You're still in the same space you were. You said you liked it more the second time around.
Yeah,
so...
no, I did, and I still maintain that, because you know it's going to only be okay with a great end the second time. It's not a satisfying story. It's not a satisfying part to a 10-episode arc. It's not very ambitious when it comes to set design or set in any way. It doesn't feel cheap, but it doesn't feel ambitious, and it so makes you miss DS9, doesn't it? I mean,
it doesn't, though, because we're watching DS9 again. Me and Sylvia are rewatching.
But just structured better episodes, pace,
yes.
Threat, sets.
Yes.
They make their own vanilla sets look better. Like the Discovery Bridge I've always disliked, but it doesn't feel good to be on it. Versus like walking through the corridors on DS9 has its own whatever. Now it's one of the better episodes of the season because of the end.
Yes.
But that's a testament to how poor the season got in the second half. And I just looked at our scores and they went down and down and down and down. This will be higher, but because those were so much poorer, that this will then be higher. Because I'm comparing to the season, which means those are in content, those are in whatever, and compared to all Discovery, which of course those ones now lower the overall score as well, which is fascinating. This season should have been better, should have been more creative, should have been more engaging. They shouldn't have invested in so many plot threads that went nowhere. And if they try and pay off every plot thread, because next week, in theory, we have to pay off Culber's spirituality, we have to pay off Stamets's redundancy. We have to pay off the Pathfinder drive. We have to pay off the Spore drive being nullified. We have to pay off, in theory, maybe Vance's family. We have to pay off the wedding between the Vulcan president and Saru. We have to pay off Book and Burnham being together. We have to pay off Adira in any way with either Grey or by themselves. We have to pay off the bridge crew who've been lost the entire season. We have to pay off... I had more. We have to pay off obviously the progenitors. We have to pay off Maul and Locke, both in either death or in satisfying. We have to pay off the Breen new patriarch person coming in. We have to pay off that. We have to pay off Starfleet resolving itself in a positive way or not. We have to pay off Burnham staying Starfleet or not. We have to pay off the Pathfinder drive or not. We have to pay off the resolve progenitor being gone.
You mentioned the Pathfinder drive twice.
Sorry, yes. Went safe in context. And there's another thing I was going to say that was more important. But there's a lot of stuff to do. A lot of plot... Oh, pay off Rayna's dealings with the patriarch lady, because that's a plot thread. We have to pay off Tilly with Rayna even more, because that needs an end. Otherwise it's just an empty thread.
Empty thread? Remember how many season 2 had? Anyway.
So it's a lot of stuff, and if they would actually try and address even half of it next week, it'll be a shitty episode. You know?
Yeah.
Like, even half of it, there's not enough time, because this show is about Michael Burnham, which means she will be in a one-on-one hand-to-hand fight in a room with Maul for a few minutes, and she'll be the leader, and she'll meet a progenitor, and she will have some sort of higher fluent conversation. Probably Locke will be the... Yeah, you know what? That's what's going to happen. I just worked it out. Maul is going to try and bring out Locke. A progenitor, a progenitor clone interface is going to go into Maul's body. Maul's going to be the big mouthpiece of the season. Maul's going to kill Locke. No, Locke's going to kill Maul because she's not worthy and doesn't have the passcode, killing her. And then Burnham has to deal with Locke, who is actually a progenitor, accept that, but then they're going to judge she's not worthy, try and kill her. Discovery Crew's going to come in, save her. Check's going to be destroyed. She's going to leave, and then that's the main plot done.
Nice.
Kind of feels like the fight with the Emerald Chain Lady, like fist fighting. Anyway, score wise, again, this is going higher, but not because it's good necessarily, you know. But it's not bad in it, though, even though we said a lot. Like, last week, it feels much worse in comparison, right? Loads of plot problems and loads of structure. I think you're pretty close to where I would go, again, compared to this season. I was thinking 7.5 for this season. It's probably going to be higher. Other things going to be lower. But I think that feels a gut reaction of score-wise. It's pretty decent, but a lot of it is wasted time. Because if I was reviewing it as a episode 9 of 10, it'd be like a 3. Or a 4, structurally and pacing wise, right? It's just broken in many ways. But as a standalone, okay. But that's a weird thing. All Discovery, I mean, it's better than most season 1, better than season 4. 7.6, I guess. 7.7, 7.7. Yeah. Oy. What a weird season.
Yeah, typical though.
Yeah, they've done it. They did it against you. They somehow did it again.
I'll say this for him. He's consistent.
They've had years of this. You'd think they would have learned. This might just be their style. You know, subpar, not well thought out, not well explained, very padded, lack of plot thread development, lack of secondary character. Like, this is just what they do, and this is, and it will be better on a full rewatch because you will forget every small plot thread in the show, and therefore it will feel better. But they should all be important, you'd think. All right. So what do people think then? That is the question. What What is their final whatnot?
There are some scores there.
Yeah, a couple last minute strips would be tremendous. It's been, it's quite a light one. Be nice to get a couple more. And do you think, well, I mean, the poll hopefully will be revealing in a second. So, scores non-super chat wise are, let's see, 6 out of 10. Last moments for saving grace. Yep. Merlot 5.8. Joseph 7.5. S1 NWR 6. TK 4 out of 10. It's a train wreck. Okay. Trekyards 5. Kickass 6.2. Hypno 9. Batmage 5. And then 5 other things. It's amazing because last week I think was much worse, but that got much higher scores. But it shows you what a last 5 minutes of good can do, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, the wrong round. No, why people think last week was much better then? Because I think this is significantly better than last week. Oh.
Don't ask me.
You just work here.
Oh, yep. I was hoping you'd finish that one. I say it enough.
Yes. And don't worry, Stuart, I will miss you with every bullet in every one of my guns and every one of my fully loaded assault rifles of hugs.
What an asshole. He's so mean to me, guys. All right, well, let's close out this poll. So, will the last episode be? The winner with 60% is a letdown. Yeah. They built this up pretty big, and I don't think we're going to get a good payoff. Following that is 29% is a satisfying conclusion.
Okay, so what's that? 9-ish people.
And as bad as These Are the Voyages is 11%. So
that was a curveball.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a 2.5-hour episode, they could do it.
Yes, they could pull it off in that. Yes, but they wouldn't. They'd still fuck it up.
And maybe maybe it will be genuinely a 68-minute main episode and then a 20-minute epilogue, and it'll be almost feature length. You know what? Maybe. But you know what's going to happen, Stuart?
What?
It's going to be 46.5 minutes. And we'll be like, wait, including epilogue?
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe there'll be a post-credit scene. We should wait and see.
Where Q shows up again.
Yeah.
Every other season. Anyway. Well, there we go, guys. That was our epic post.
More like epic. JM, $5. The writing quality of Discovery. Discovery is like the warp pylons of the future. It doesn't exist. It's funny.
It would be fun to compress these down to 2 movies.
We say that every season.
Yeah, but this has a bit more going on than last season. A bit more.
As I've said before, and I'll say it again, both last season and this season are fantastic ideas. 3 episodes, maybe 4, pushing it. But then you move on to another story. I hate that it's all a great story that's made kind of shitty and awful because they stretch it out too far. That's my problem with this kind of storytelling for Star Trek. I think Enterprise Season 4 hit the nail on the head. They had a lot of 2-3-part episodes in that season, and then they moved to another story. That's how they should do it.
With, in fact, 2 of them are entirely linked. You got the augment story and the second augment story. So there's actually 6 linked, actually.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay, well, tune in for this weekend's videos where we're looking at things and bobs. And then I will be...
And don't tune in next week on Friday because I'm not going to be here. It'll be earlier in the following week that we'll do the finale discussion sometime. We're not sure when, so make sure you hit the notification icon so you get notified. The end.
Yeah. And we'll see if you guys even want us to do a retrospective post because you guys are going to come and have fun with us too. So hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's do some fun with that. Yeah. We'll see. Well, I mean, I'll give him hope. Or should I think it's going to be crap and actually low expectations? Oh, that's a good question. So if I think it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. If I think it's going to be bad, it'll be okay. Probably. Which is never a good thing.
Yeah.
And do you remember how we had Best of Both Worlds and Endgame and just really good closing episodes? Just really solid episodes. It's like, yeah.
Yep.
And yes, happy birthday, Stuart.
Oh, thank you.
And have a great WonderFest. I'm doing a 3-day shoot, 2.5-day shoot for Trek Shorts from a Indiegogo backer personage. So I'm going to be pooped. Very tired. We've got like 27 pages to shoot. The whole day outside.
Yeah.
Dear me. Dear me.
Have fun with that.
It's going to be tiring. That's what it's going to be. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right. Well,
yeah.
thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
As usual, you guys are awesome.
Yes.
And we will catch you sometime.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
All right. Until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley.